ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. The subject I'm going to discuss with you today is cosmology in Sikhism. I'm grateful to the Almighty God who gave me the impetus to understand Him. I am so humbled at God's vastness and energy. I want to share my findings and understanding of God with you. I am grateful to the American people, their President Barack Obama, who lowered their flag at half-mast around the world on the killing of 6 Sikhs in a Gurdwara in America. I'm also grateful to the people of Pakistan who have recognized Nankana Sahib and Panja Sahib as holy cities. The invisible God, with his complicated ways, spoke through Guru Nanak, who was born in Nankana Sahib. And it took 239 years for the completion of Sikhism, starting with Guru Nanak till the 10th Nanak, Guru Gobind Singh. I believe that day is not far when India and its people will recognize Amritsar as a holy city. Allama Iqbal writes about Guru Nanak. He said, "Fir uthi aakhir sada tauheed ki Punjab se, हिंद को एक मर्द कामल ने जगाया ख्वाब से फिर उठी आखिर सदा." Once again, the voice came of oneness of God, Tawheed, one God, Punjab se, and that he is talking about Guru Nanak. हिंद को एक मर्द कामल ने जगाया ख्वाब से. So India was woken up again with the oneness of God. This is the portrait of Guru Nanak at Mecca. And here somebody made a copy of it, And this is a portrait of Guru Nanak in Baghdad. Time brings change in the thinking of, if only the human race understand the thoughts of God, this planet will become a better place to live in peace and in harmony. Let's look at the truth with the modern sciences and cosmology in Sikhism. The intellects on this planet are trying to find out what universe is and how it came into being. The standard theory is that universe emerged from subatomic particles of opposite charge explosions. By colliding atoms at nearly the speed of light from opposite directions, a very high temperature of trillion Celsius is produced. They want to observe what happens to subatomic particles of matter and antimatter. Albert Einstein said, "For every 1 billion particles of antimatter, there are 1,000,000,001 particles of matter." And the mutual annihilation was complete. 1/1000,000th remained. That is our present universe. Though I do not agree with it, because whenever a particle is obtained, there is always an antiparticles. So there cannot be inequality. For example, you dig a pit and you put the soil out. Unless you dig a pit, the soil cannot come out. Look at that, the pit that is devoid of earth, but the earth outside if you put it back in there, that fills that whole thing and it equalizes. So the amount of earth you have taken out is equal to the amount of earth that you put in. So therefore, it is just not possible that there will be one extra particle, that will make this universe. However, this is his thinking, we have to think it otherwise when we go into the further discussion, on how this universe came into being. Albert Einstein also said, I want to know God's thoughts, and the rest are details, said Albert Einstein. God does not play dice with the universe. He just said, there's 1 million and 1 million and 1 particles, so that one makes the whole universe. So here, he very clearly, he should have never said that God does not play dice. Of course he does not play dice. And I believe he does not play dice. Science without religion is lame. This is again his quotation. The science without religion is lame. And religion without science is blind. See, if you blindly, which is not scientifically true, if you believe in that religion, you are blindly going with it. But however, I want to see, does our religion, Sikhism in particular, does it tally with the science, or is science trying to go the same way? So, we'll see it further. Albert Einstein does believe in God. It's not that he doesn't believe in God. He does believe in God, provided the religion agrees with the science. In fact, science is searching for God's work in. One thing that I have learned in a long life is that our science measured against reality is primitive and childlike. And yet, this is the most precious thing that we have, Albert Einstein said. Quantum mechanics now. Quantum mechanics is very impressive, but an inner voice tells me that it is not yet the real thing. The theory yields a lot, but it is hardly brings us any closer to the secrets of the old one, or call it God, old one. In any case, I am convinced he does not play dice, said Albert Einstein. We'll see if God does exist, or someone or some scientists are right who deny the presence of God. Questions science is looking for are, was there anything? Was there anything before the Big Bang? If not, what created the universe? Why? Why did the universe emerge from the Big Bang the way it did? Why did the universe emerge from the Big Bang the way it did? Although the universe has no end, but it had a beginning with a Big Bang. That is according to science. There is nothing bigger than the universe. Where did the universe came into being? Up to 1920, everybody thought that universe was static, unchanging in time. Means it was of certain volume, and it was restricted. All the changes were taking place inside it. Then it was discovered that the universe is expanding. Distant galaxies were moving away from us. That is afterwards, when the telescopes, they became bigger and bigger. So they started believing that the galaxies are going away from us. This meant, if the galaxies are going away, surely they must have started from somewhere. So this meant they must have been close in the past. If we go back in time, they must be on top of each other, creating singularity actually. If we go back about 13.7 billion years ago, we come to a point of beginning. The laws of physics fail there. This must be the beginning of the universe or Big Bang. I explained that it's an expanding universe. We know the speed at which it is going out, but if we reverse it in time, it will all come together to a single point, and that point is again an imaginary. So they reckon that is called singularity, and so the laws of physics does not apply there because it's so small with a high curvature. Now the science started saying that this is a new theory, Dr. Hawkins is saying. Now the science started saying time and space are separate identities, although they still believe time and space started together with the Big Bang. This removes the distinction between time and space, and that means laws of evolution can be determined the initial state. If we put the two things separately, time and space, and that will means the laws of evolution, how it evolved, can also determine the initial state according to Dr. Hawkins. Thus, universe can create out of nothing and spontaneously, says Dr. Hawkins. Moreover, we can calculate the probability of the universe in different states. The universe expanded by a factor of million, trillion in a tiny fraction of a second, spontaneously out of nothing. Universe exists according to the laws of science. General relativity and quantum theory allows it and requires it to exist, says Dr. Hawkins. The universe, science believes, is self-contained and will last forever, said Hawkins. Now, Earth, where we are living, was created 10 billion years ago. Earth was too hot till 4.5 billion years ago. Life started about 4 billion years ago, and the fossils are available from the past 3.5 billion years ago. Now the big question is, where did we come from? According to Dr. Hawkins, the irregularities in the early universe will mean that some regions will have slightly higher density than others. The gravitational attractions of extra density will show the expectations of the region and can eventually cause the region to collapse. Where it is thick, it will collapse. Where it is thin, it will become the space to form the galaxies and the stars. So look well at the microwave sky. It is the blueprint for the structure of the universe. Now you wonder what microwave sky is. If you look at a pond, go in a pond, throw a little pebble, the ripples of water will start going out. Say, think about this thing, that where the stone was dropped, if the ripples are going out, think of that as if the universe is going out. But where we dropped, the smaller and smaller and smaller waves will still keep on coming. Similarly, when the Big Bang occurred, so from there, still the microwaves are coming, which we are observing. They are coming definitely when the Big Bang or the expansion of the universe occurred. So that is what microwave, we have to understand that. We are a product of the quantum fluctuations. In a very early universe, when the quantum means, we are a product of quantum fluctuation in the very early universe means, at some places we were thick and thin. So that made the space as well as it made the solid form or whatever you see, whatever you can see. God really does play dice, says Dr. Stephen Hawkins. Does play dice? Dr. Hawkins said does play dice, but Einstein say God does not play dice. God does not play dice. So the Einstein theory of relativity predicts that time has a beginning in the Big Bang and in the black hole. In the black hole again, it is under gravitational pull. It comes to nothing and the stars are dying, but they are very brilliant stars. If you look at the star, sometimes they got tails, so the energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It changes into something else, but here they say the time comes to an end. The general theory of relativity and discovery of expansion of the universe shattered the old picture of ever-existing and everlasting universe that I discussed up to 1920. Instead, general relativity predicted that the universe and time and the time itself would begin in the Big Bang. It also predicted that the time would come to an end in a black hole. Okay, we discussed that. The discovery of the cosmic and microwave background, the one I told you, the microwaves, they still come in, and observation of the black hole support these conclusions. What the scientists are making theories, they support them. So this is a profound change in a picture of the universe and reality itself. Although the general theory of relativity predicted that universe must have come from a period of high curvature in the past, that is singularity he is talking about, it would not predict how the universe would emerge from the Big Bang. How will it emerge? It's a singularity. There is no laws of physics. Thus, general relativity on its own cannot answer the central question in cosmology, why the universe is the way it is. Dr. Hawkins believes if general relativity is combined with quantum theory, it may be possible to predict how the universe will start. It would initially expand at an ever-increasing rate, during which so-called inflationary period, the marriage of the two theories predicted that the small fluctuations would develop. See, I'm coming to the same thing. It will become thicker and thinner. So those small fluctuations would develop and will lead to the formation of the galaxies, stars, and other structures in the universe. This is confirmed by the observations of small non-uniformities in the cosmic microwave's background with exactly predicted properties. So, God is unnecessary, says Dr. Hawkins. There is no room for God in the creation of the universe. Universe came spontaneously by pure chance. Here, I have a question. Can nothing produce anything? If there was nothing there, how can it produce anything? But science believes nothing can be created or destroyed in this universe. One form may change into another, like hydrogen is changing into helium under gravitational pressure in the sun. But while changing, a lot of heat is produced in line with the theory of relativity. Thus, nothing is created or lost. This is a picture of sun. If you look at the internal structure down there with a great gravitational pressure, hydrogen is changing into helium. I give you one example. Say, for example, you take 1 kilogram of hydrogen. When it changes into helium, the mass is reduced. The mass that is left is 993 grams. So 7 grams go somewhere missing. Those 7 grams, if you apply in the theory of relativity, which is E is equal to mc square, E is energy, is equal to mass times speed of light times speed of light. Now we do not know how much energy it is. So that energy we have to calculate. We write E is equal to mass. Mass we know is 7 grams. Now hydrogen changing into helium, there's a loss of mass of 7 gram, and that loss of mass of 7 gram is changing into energy. That is heat energy, light energy, and all that. But that stays. See, outside you see the surface flows of photosphere, call it, there are some sunspots as well, there are some flares coming out of it, and outside it is covered by a corona. So that heat cannot come out, that light cannot come out, that all the energy which has changed into different forms cannot come out. So here a corona is stopping that thing to come out, but it takes a very long time for that light to come out or heat to come out. But once it comes out at sunspot, say for example, then it takes not very long before the sun reaches the sunlight or sun's energy, which is changing inside, comes to the earth. So that is the clear example that nothing can be created or nothing can be destroyed. Here I'm showing you a picture how this universe, when it first started, how the energy changed into quasars and then gradually into further the subatomic particles of atom, and eventually you'll see the protons, the neutrons, and gradually, the very first element that was made out of energy was hydrogen. So this picture will show you, will increase and decrease to show you that. This is a galaxy, once the expansion took place, this is one of the galaxies, that is showing us. This is our sun, where in this sun is a big star. And with the sun, the nearest to it is Mercury, and then comes Venus, then is our Earth. Our Earth goes around the sun and also goes around on its own axis. And that is how the time is calculated. So movement is in fact time. Then comes Mars, then comes Jupiter, then comes Saturn, then comes Uranus, and then comes Neptune. So it's all, everything is there. That is a little solar system we are living in. There are theologians who believe God created this earth in 7 days. If God is a superhuman who created this earth in 7 days, if he did, what was he standing upon? Surprising, isn't it? Guru Granth Sahib says, Baran chehen nahi, mukh na masara. God has no caste, shape, mustache, or beard. In other words, he is not like a human. Therefore, it means the superhuman in Sikhism who created this earth, I'm a Sikh. And that means a student who want to learn about the truth. God spoke through Guru Nanak, who was born in Nankana Sahib, and told us how the universe came into being. What is Sikhism? Sikhism, if so many people ask, you're a Sikh? Yeah. What is Sikhism? Sikhism is simply Sikhi, Sikhya, Gurvichar. Sikhism is learning about God as a student. So irrespective who is learning about God is a Sikh, whether he is a Hindu, whether he's a Sikh, we call ourselves, whether he's a Muslim, he's a Christian, he's a Judaism, all those people, those who are interested to learn about the universe or the God is a Sikh. We do not have to build a bridge to our past mistakes, Often I've seen our forefathers been telling lullaby stories, which ladies believe, men believe, but they are only there for little money or for their little profit. They are making stories, making very emotional stories. So let's forget about them. So we don't have to build a bridge to our past mistakes. We need to build a bridge for the future of the truth, for the honor and for the glory of God. And that, with the blessing of God, we will. We should learn from our past mistakes and misrepresentations of our spiritual guru's teachings, which are in Guru Granth Sahib, and let's understand them. In fact, God has no name, and all names we call him with are his properties or virtues. In Jap Sahib, Guru Gobind Singh says, Namastam Aname. I salute you, who has no name. Namastam Anamang. I salute you, who has got no name. Namastam Aneke. God, you see different bodies like galaxies, sun, moon, and everything. This is the manyness of God. He also salutes him, Namastam Aneke. I salute him who has many manifestations. Anam hai. In Jap Sahib we say Anam hai. You are without any particular name. So what is God? It's a very big question, So how Sikhism describe God? According to Guru Granth Sahib, which I will prove later. Energy, matter, and space. I repeat, energy, matter, and space together make as one God. In the very early stage, when God created himself, before the Big Bang, God was energy of very fine form, and the universe came out of it. Multiplicity, manifestations came afterwards. Time is endless and beginningless. Avoiding time is, let me. अच्छा